Good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday, and that means it is time for another episode of Ma1ne Snekky, brought to you live here on MSP Waves. My name is Poetic Snake, and as always, I am joined by the most amazing radio voice ever, Mr. Main Event. Are you with us?
I am here. Good evening, Poetic Snake.
Good evening, Main. How are you doing today?
I am doing wonderful. It's great to be back here with you once again on MSP Waves. Again, it is Wednesday night. It is September 19th, 2018. It should be 10 p.m. UTC time if my clock is correct here. That means it's currently 6 p.m. here on the east coast of the U.S. What time is it over in the Netherlands, Snekky?
It is exactly midnight right now.
All right, so we are coming to you live from both sides of the ocean here. Snekky's over in the Netherlands. I'm here in the USA. And it's wonderful to have all of you here with us. And it's, again,
Absolutely.
Ma1ne Snekky here on MSP Waves. Globo's saying I'm a little bit more quiet than you. Let's see here if I can get a little louder. Maybe I need to sit a little closer.
Yes, put on your radio mode thingy voice.
I think my microphone's sitting a little too low is the problem. So I'll try to scooch in here and get a little closer, a little more closer to the mic. So hopefully that sounds a lot better. Welcome to the show. Again, this is Ma1ne Snekky. What this show is all about is the two of us are Steemians. We are people who are on the Steem blockchain, utilizing it and hanging out and getting to know many wonderful people. And we bring some of them onto this show. Each and every week, we get to know them a little better. We ask them questions. We find out how they found their way here to the Steem blockchain and find out what they're doing here. You know, are they bloggers? Are they musicians? Maybe they've become Steem witnesses. You never know who's going to be on this show. So join us each and every Wednesday here on MSP Waves. And what's new with you, Snekky? What's going on with curation? What's been happening with your Steem life lately?
Well, do you have like 6 hours?
We have 2 hours, but not quite that full amount of time because we have two guests tonight.
Oh, well, I will keep it short. My STEEMIT life is going well. I'm taking it a little bit slower than I did, months ago. And it's giving me so much pleasure that I am really, really enjoying the platform again. And curating is going well. You got Snack is still growing, and yeah, we are having fun, and I think that's what matters. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm a happy, slithering little snake.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. Again, check out the You Got Snecked curation blog, and it's on its own profile now, right, on Steem?
Yeah, we made a its own profile now. Before I always posted the compilation post on my own wall, but yeah, I really wanted it, and yeah, a friend of mine helped me, the Buckeye Cube. He made sure that the account was set up, and I'm forever grateful. So yeah, it's something new. It feels like almost starting over again, which is a nice thing to do. You have to grow again, and it's a challenge, and I like that. So we're having a good time there, and so far so good.
So again, you can find that blog on the STEEMIT website if you find it at You Got Snecked, right? All one word, at You Got Snecked. Is that what the profile is?
Yes, you
Okay,
got snacked.
cool. So check that out. And currently those are coming out, what, on Tuesdays and Fridays, I think, right?
Yes, that's correct. 2 times a week.
So you can see some original content being featured there and maybe discover some new content creators as well. So certainly cool to see.
Yes, and we curate every corner of Steemit platform, no matter if you're a minnow, a dolphin, or a whale. If you produce a good post, we curate you.
Yeah, and that is I do like that about your project is it's not only limited to certain groups of people or experience levels or even content types. You know, it's really open to anybody, and that's cool.
Yeah, it's something different, and I also like to focus on new Steemians and give them shout outs and, open a platform for them to, have extra eyes on their posts so that they can build their audience. But in saying that, I think that you should never forget those who have been on a platform a little bit longer. They still work very hard for what they are doing. Dolphins the same. Whales, if they produce good content, they are working very hard as well. And I think if you write, you deserve a chance to be curated. And, I hope that it's appreciated. And all we want to do is bring a smile and some happiness. And that's, yeah, it's feeling good. It's having fun mostly.
Yeah, and the people who are kind of sticking it out through these times are the what I call like the really loyal Steemians, in my opinion. And of course, everything you hear on this show is only our opinion. But the people who are here, they're the like almost like the true Steam warriors, aren't they? I mean, we've seen so many ups and downs and roller coasters, and it's been a wild ride the last year or so here on the Steem blockchain. And I feel like the people who are here right now are, there's a lot of quality, talented people here. And I love it seeing all the people who are still here enjoying their time here, posting and creating content and using the communities to chat and network and meet people. And I'm certainly happy still to be here. And it's great to see, people still here and curation projects still continuing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, don't get me wrong. When Steam was $7, I really enjoyed it as well. I would be lying if I said, nah, it doesn't have to go up that more. It's we all want to see it grow, and but yeah, I'm still having fun, even though my vote has been, lowered under 50 cents right now, and I still feel blessed that it's worth that much. But yeah, it's an adjustment, but still, focus on the happy moments, and do what you like, and you will be able to pull through. At least that's how I feel.
And before we get going too far, I'm going to go ahead and play our little disclaimer, Snekky.
Oh no. You are listening to Ma1ne Snekky on MSPWaves. Everything you hear on this show is our opinion only and should not be taken as financial advice or advice of any kind. We are not financial experts or experts of anything. This show is intended for entertainment purposes only. MSPWaves and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host or our guests. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of MSPWaves. The material on Ma1ne Snekky is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research.
Always do your own research.
Yes, that's the most important thing. Always do your own research.
But we enjoy hanging out with all of you each and every Wednesday and getting to know all of these amazing different Steemians. So it's great to have you all here with us. But this show is just for entertainment purposes only.
Yes, people. Entertainment. Yes.
All right. Well, I see a decent number of people already jumping in the live chat here. Welcome to all of you who are hanging out with us on Discord today. If you're not chatting with us on Discord, you really should be. Come and join the Peace, Abundance, Liberty Discord server. That is, of course, the home of the Minnow Support Project and MSPWaves. So jump on in here and chat with us. We are hanging out in the MSPWaves audience room. That's where you can find us chatting and saying hello to everybody who is listening out there. Let us know you're here by saying hello in the chat.
Yes, or wave. You can use that little wavy thing, and we can wave back, or apples. Thank you, Victoria. Aww.
I see some people jumping in there. Great to have you all here. Of course, big shout out to everybody who is listening tonight on MSPWaves.com. And if you haven't seen MSPWaves.com yet, you should certainly take a look. That's where you can find the full schedule of all the different shows here on MSPWaves, and they're all hosted by people that are utilizing the Steem blockchain. So check that out. There's a wide variety of different shows, and some of them are music, some of them are talk shows. Wide variety of different things on there, hosted by a lot of cool people. So check it out again. It's at MSPWaves.com.
Oh, and we also have D-Live.
Yes.
So scary.
Big shout out to It's not scary. Why is it scary?
It is. It's like extra people.
You're scared that so many people might be watching you, Snekky?
Yeah.
I think you can handle it.
No, but I can pretend very well that I can.
Yes.
Or at least I like to think I can. Yes.
You'll be fine. You'll be okay.
Well, it's because of you that we will be okay. Because if I should handle the technical things and stuff, oh no, we would not be fine.
We'll see how it goes. But again, big shout out to everybody who is listening on D-Live tonight. So if you, there's 3 different ways that I can think of at least to listen to the show. You could listen to us on Discord in the PAL network. You can listen to us on MSPWaves.com. And you can listen to us on D-Live via the MSP-Waves profile that's on Steam. So it's MSP.
And the app.
There is an app. I don't know how to get to it, though. So we'll have to see.
Me
Somebody
neither.
might know how to link to that or how to find it. If you do, put it in the chat. I haven't personally downloaded it yet, so there may be other things in the works. We'll have to see.
Ooh, that's scary too.
It's a good thing. Good thing.
Yes. Good scary. Mm-hmm.
So, yes, hello and welcome to everybody who is listening out there on all those different platforms. It's great to have you all here with us. We do have 2 live guests potentially here on the show. One's for sure here in the audience room, and I know the other one is listening as well, so we'll have both of them on the show tonight. Great to have you all here, and let's go ahead and welcome our first guest onto the show if he is ready to go. Hello. Yes, hello and welcome to The Real Wolf. Welcome.
Welcome. Sorry, I had to unmute my mic manually.
Welcome to the show, and great to have you here.
Yes.
Yes. Good to have you here with us, Wolf.
Wolf. Glad to be here. I really like this.
Remind our listeners whereabouts in the world are you this evening, if you don't mind. What country are you in tonight?
I'm in Germany, and it's also midnight right now, so yeah.
So we're keeping you up late in Germany tonight, huh?
Yeah, but honestly, at the last few days, especially 2 days ago when the blockchain froze, I was up until 6 a.m. So somehow I'm getting used to it, which is not good, but but I'm getting used to it. So.
Well, let's kind of go back and start near the beginning of your Steem experience here. And how long have you been with us on the Steem blockchain so far, would you say? How long?
So my Steem profile says 14 months. So 1 year and 2 months.
All right, cool. That's about the same amount of time I've been here as well. So a little over a year. That's cool. And how did you ever find out about the platform, the Steem blockchain and the STEEMIT website and all this stuff? How did you ever find out about any of it in the first place? Do you remember?
That's a very good question because I think I had to ask. I had to answer this question 2 times, and I think it was over Google. It's somehow I came to STEEMIT because I was interested in cryptocurrencies, and then I found STEEMIT. And at first I didn't know what STEEMIT is or what Steem is. So yeah, over Google.
Yeah, it's always interesting to learn all the different ways how people initially found out about the Steem blockchain.
Yeah,
and whether
exactly.
I'm also curious, like whether people now that are joining are finding it the same way or if they're finding it through other avenues. I'm not sure right now how they might be finding it. But it's cool that you found it just by searching for other types of content. In your case, it was cryptocurrency, but that actually led you to the Steem blockchain.
I think it was actually that I looked for making money with cryptocurrency or earning cryptocurrencies, and then somehow I found the link,
Yep.
And then I found STEEMIT. I think that was it.
And, we're not saying that by going to STEEMIT, you're going to earn money in cryptocurrency. Not at all. That's not what we're saying. So, that's the whole do your own research part of all this.
Exactly.
But so before you joined, though, were you somebody who was interested in creating content or programming or anything like that before you ever found the Steem blockchain?
Yes and no. I was always, yes, I was interested in making content, but I was more interested in creating businesses or creating startups and realizing ideas.
And once you got here, what did you really think about it, and what was kind of your initial thought of the platform?
So when I got here, I think I nearly left, I think about 2 or 3 times because I was a bit frustrated by the way that the algorithm works. Yeah. So I nearly left, but I didn't, and I'm very grateful for this. And then I decided that I wanted to do something about it.
And I've seen, many people who have felt the similar way. When they joined, it's a lot to take in, and it's a lot to learn at first. It's quite a
it is.
it's very different than anything I've ever really dealt with before. In the grand scheme of it, there's just so many moving parts. It seems like
it's so huge. It's incredible.
It is. If you want to talk about that a little bit, just how were you feeling at those times where you were wanting to kind of give up on it? What was going through your mind, and what kind of made you want to stay? Besides the potential rewards, obviously. I mean, which are possible,
Yeah, I understand what you mean. So I think when I'm honest about it, then I think it was when I do decisions, I usually talk about it with my girlfriend, right? And especially also in those cases, I talked about this with my girlfriend. And she said, okay, Wolf, it might not be good right now, but you can stick there and you can understand it and you can, get to know it better. And that was one reason why I stayed.
I think it's always good to listen to your girlfriend.
Yeah, sometimes. No, but I know what you mean. It's true.
Girlfriends are often right, but always do your own research.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. So you decided to stay. Now, what were some of the things that you were doing with the Steem blockchain? Were you creating blogs? Like, what types of things were you doing with the blockchain?
So at first, I was trying to create content, right? I was looking, okay, what can I do? And at first, my posts were really shit. They weren't good because I didn't understand the platform yet. But the longer I was into it, or the longer I was part of Steem, I also understood what I wanted to do and what my goal was, and I got more into the whole scheme of developing. So I wrote posts about the Steem ecosystem, about libraries, how you can code, and I think for me the biggest part, which over all these 14 months made me stay, was the fact that I always had a project which pretty much forced me to stay, or at least to keep me going.
And, a lot of people probably feel similar to that too. I know myself, I'm part of a lot of different Discord communities and projects, especially here in the Minnow Support Project, and of course doing this radio show on MSPWaves. So you're right, having projects does kind of keep you here and keeps you going. And I know Snekky would agree with that too.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about maybe some of the projects you've worked on, or things you might be working on right now? Sure, go ahead.
So it was that I first was interested to learn how Steem works, because when I got to Steem, even as me as a technical guy and as a developer, it was at at first very hard to understand what is Steem, what is Steem Power, what is Steem Dollar, what is STEEMIT, right? So I was looking at different videos from, I remember videos from Andraki and then at Starlight, and then I got more and more involved. And then I think I started with with an open source project and got into it and tried to understand how the how the blockchain worked. And then my projects grew and grew. Yeah. And over the time, they became bigger and bigger. And also my skills improved. So I could do even more important tasks. At first, it was, a little project like having a little bar on my Mac on the top, which showed my voting power. And at the time, I was really proud of it. Now in a retro perspective, I'm like, oh, okay, it's nothing special. I can do it easily now. But at that time, I was very proud, and that's important, right? That you are proud about what you're doing and that you continue to push.
Absolutely. And I mean, if you can find something on this blockchain that you're passionate about, that's a wonderful thing.
Exactly.
It's we mention this every time there's a guest. There's opportunities out there for people. You just kind of have to find them and create them. But at least this platform gives you the possibility of potentially doing that.
Yes, and that's also the reason why I stayed, because there are things which aren't that good, and there are things which might need changing or might need improvements. But on the other hand, Steem, even how I explained it once, is for me the blockchain of. Okay, no, I don't think it was from me. I think it was from Anarchy, but I really like the statement. The Steem is the blockchain of opportunity. So you can do nearly everything on Steem. You can create blogs, you can create videos, you can create music, you can write your own code, you can create your own community. That's incredible what you can do.
Yeah, the opportunities are seriously endless, and so much is yet to discover. And I am so looking forward to what everybody will come up with, after the Horde fork and all the other things that are coming. I am nervous, but also looking forward to everything. And wow.
Yeah, me too. I think the more Steem evolves, the more different the projects will become. For example, when you look at the history of Steem, then at first there were only bloggers or vloggers, and the more advanced the blockchain gotten, the more advanced the projects gotten. And of course, also the more skilled the people became. For example, when I look at people like Yabamat, who was who's also creating Steem monsters. When he came here to Steem, he was creating bots, right? But he needed to learn. He needed to learn how to write code on Steem, and through this experience, he could create better and better projects. And that's exactly how I feel, because I can create better and better projects and write better and better code, which in the end will hopefully, bring thousands or millions of people to Steem.
And we'll have to see. Time will tell, right? So it's really cool, though, that people are able to do these things and possibly create things that could change their lives. And that's one of the things that keeps me here as well, is hearing the stories of all of these people who have created all of these awesome things, and they're excited about it, they're passionate about it, and they're meeting new people, and they're really changing their lives, and that's quite incredible.
Yes, it is, because it's just a mentality game. It's the same thing when you're like, okay, the glass is half full or half empty. It's not what is objective there. It's your subjective realization of what can be done and what are the possibilities.
That's absolutely, yes. And we are chatting tonight with The Real Wolf. And so again, a big hello to everybody in the live audience chat. I see some more people coming into the audience, so hello and welcome. And I mentioned in the chat that if anybody has questions for you, Wolf, to ask away, and we do have one question in there from Menno.
Yay!
If you'd like to answer that question.
Yes, for sure. So the question is what I think as a developer of the future of smart contracts. And that's actually a very good question, because I even created a post about smart contracts on Steem before. And while I still have similar feelings about it, I realized that Steem might, Steem is a blockchain which has a specific purpose, which is really good, because when they do one thing and one thing only, they can do it really good. But smart contracts are for me very important, because smart contracts are pretty much code, which is open source and which normally can't be tampered with. Which means, for example, if I have like a code which trades your Steem for Steam Loader, right? Then this is also a smart contract, because it's open source on the Steam Hub, on the Steam GitHub page. But for example, if you take other projects which have the service on a private server, the code on a private server, then this is not a smart contract, because nobody can see what really happens. So for me, that's one of the reasons why smart contracts are important, because through this you can create a very good form of a trustless system, where you can be like, okay, I know that the code is correct, and I know that the code is right because I can see it with my own eyes, and there's no tampering with it. And then I can be like, okay, I send there 100 to Steam and will get back in 1 week 150 under specific circumstances. And if not, then I get my money back, 100 Steam. Something like this.
All right. Well, thanks for the question, Menno. And let's see here. So continuing on, just kind of getting to know you a little better, are there other things you want to talk about that you're working on currently, now that you're here on the Steem blockchain for a little over a year? I know you've become a Steem witness, correct?
Yeah, exactly. So a Steem witness is a block producer. A Bitcoin works in the way that they're miners who are making sure that that blocks are being produced and the network is safe. And similar tasks are being made by witnesses, but there are 20 main witnesses and over 100 backup witnesses. And this is because through this we have a big opportunity of scalability. And yes, I'm a witness, and I have multiple servers, which are making sure that blocks are being signed by me and that the blockchain is secured. Especially 2 days ago, we had a little bug which brought the blockchain to halt. And while I'm still a developer, but I'm not a blockchain developer per se. So I can review part of the codes, but I'm not as good as somebody like Abit, who's a very good witness and developer. But I'm more of an app developer. So while I couldn't prevent the bug from happening, what I can do, and in my opinion, this is very important as a witness, what I can do is to make sure that I'm always available when something happens. For example, yesterday I had to stay up until like 6 a.m. to make sure that my servers are running again and everything is secure. Maybe in the future I can improve that even more, so I can time that better. But for now, the important part is that a witness is somebody who's securing the network and who's making sure that all these, in the future, if everything happens well, then we will have thousands of apps like Steam Monsters and Co. And if we want those apps to be successful, then we need a network, a fundament which is stable and which is secure. And those tasks are made for the witnesses.
Yeah, we'll talk about that event here in a few minutes if you want to, the whole big
Okay.
downage
Yeah, sure.
and everything. I'm curious, so what kind of inspired you to become the witness? Was it just you were just interested in learning more about how the blockchain worked, and you thought like you were saying, that you could be available and would understand it? Because I don't understand a lot of it yet, like how it all works, and it's very interesting to me. So I'm curious, what inspired you to do that?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think there were multiple reasons, but for me, the most important reason was that I'm very much I'm very invested in Steem, and because I'm so invested, I want to do everything that's possible that the blockchain is secure, and I can profit from the success even more. And for me, this is being a witness, because I can be the one who makes sure that I've earned somewhat of a good amount of Steem, and I want this amount to be secure and to rise in value. And I can do this at best when I'm somebody who's making sure that things happen how I want them to be. And so my goal was to be somebody who can also influence decisions and bring maybe change, which is very good for the platform or for the blockchain.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. And again, if anyone in the live audience has questions for the Real Wolf, certainly put those into the audience chat. Again, if you're just joining us, welcome. We're chatting with the Real Wolf. You can find his STEEMIT profile under that username at the Real Wolf. Poetic Snake has just shared that in the chat just a moment ago. So thank you, Snekky.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. And I would really like to answer some questions if we have some. So don't be shy, or go for it.
Well, yes, people, don't hold back. Come on, send the questions in. He is willing to answer. This is your chance.
Your chance. Your one and only chance.
Yes. Let's make it
here,
special.
While we're waiting, I guess, why don't you kind of walk us through how your day went the day the blockchain had its issue there recently? How does a day like that go for you?
Well, it was a very special day. I woke up, and then everything was fine for a few hours, and suddenly I received messages that some transfers for Smart Steem, my main project, didn't go through. And then I looked into it, and then I realized that witnesses missed a lot of blocks. And then I was very active in the Steem chat, the witness channel, where pretty much all of the witnesses are. And from then on, I was just trying to see what happens, or what the problem was and what I can do. And from then on, and around I think 2 p.m. my time, Tim made an announcement that there was a problem with the new version. I mean, not a problem per se with the new version, but there were very unlucky circumstances which made the new version making problems with the old one. So then Tim Cliff said that the top witnesses came to the consensus that we would go back to the old version, and when I knew that it would just be a matter of time until the blockchain is there. And from then on, I was pretty much being forced. Okay, maybe not forced, but I was pretty much on my keyboard and on my PC chair, and making sure that I'm there when anything happens. Also because I'm also running Smart Steem, which is pretty much a business on Steem. And if I would have gone to bed, and 1 hour after I go to bed everything is fine, then the investors who have invested with Smart Steem would have made no money for maybe 10 hours or maybe 8 hours. I don't know how long I will sleep. So I had to make sure that I was there also for my business, but of course mainly for the witness service. So for about 10 hours I was waiting and seeing what will happen. And then the news was that a new version was out, which I actually got told by the Marky Mark on another Discord server, which is called SteamSpeak. And then I was making sure that all my witness notes were ready, and it took about 4 hours or 3 hours after that to get everything ready. And then it was 6 a.m. and everything was running, and I made a post and everything was happy. Was great then afterwards.
Well, it certainly sounds like an eventful day, and
Yeah.
people listening out there, if you're not really familiar with what the Steam Witnesses do, as he was explaining, they're the people that kind of keep this whole thing running, really. So, and we always remind people you're able to vote up to 30 different witnesses with your stake in your account. So, certainly look into the witnesses and support the ones that you want to support. As we say with everything, do your own research on the ones that you want to support.
Very important.
But, you can vote up to 30 different witnesses. And, as you were just explaining, it's quite an eventful thing when there's a problem like that. I mean, I've been here for a little over a year, and I don't know how many times that there's been a major situation like that, but it doesn't seem like it's really been too many times. And it's amazing to me that everybody comes together and fixes the problem, relatively quickly.
Yeah. I think in my time it was 2 times that the blockchain stood still. And especially in those cases, it's very, very important that the witnesses who are there, I mean, who are high in the ranking or low, however you see it, are very active and are making sure that they do their best. For example, there's Luke Stokes who was in I think Puerto Rico with his family, and who had to also be in front of the PC for the whole time. And I'm not saying wasting, but spending 15 hours instead of with the family being a witness. So that's also very very important that witnesses are being voted that are good for the blockchain. And for example, if you feel a bit uncomfortable with voting for witnesses, then you can choose a proxy, which means you say, okay, I want that you choose the witness votes for me, and I give you my voting right.
All right, here. So
there are a few questions.
There are some questions, yes. So there's one that's been reposted right at the bottom of the chat, Wolf, if you want to answer that one, and I'll scroll back up. I know there was at least one more.
I'm at top.
Oh, yeah. You mean the one from Manuel Sage, right?
Yes, yeah. And then Menno had a quick one about price prediction, but I don't want to get too hypothetical there.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
kind of more of a fun question, I guess.
Well, the question is about fighting, or my fight against abuse regarding vote buying and selling or promotion. And that's that's a bit of a tricky question, because for me that's not really a fight. I'm providing the tools, and the people are responsible for using them. The tools aren't bad; they are just neutral. And when I see that people are abusing it, then I'm of course making sure that those people are being blacklisted. Now the thing is, I have to be very very professional about it, and I'm still learning, and I'm still trying to make sure that I learn as much as possible to be as professional as possible, so I'm not letting my personal emotions get in the way. But I also believe that the blockchain is more than just a content quality is always very subjective. And for me, the most important part is that there are users who have a good feeling about Steam and who want to use it. And the thing is, I created Smart Steam, which is a promotion service and investment service, because I had pretty big problems in the beginning when I was on Steam, because I didn't have any visibility, and I had to make sure or wish on whales or dolphins seeing me, and it was a bit like playing a lottery. And some people like this. Some people like this thrill, and I liked it also. But I also like the the fact that I could make sure that when I write good content, people will see it, and if they like it, they will write a comment, or they will upvote it themselves, or they will follow me. So, yeah.
It's it's tough because of course everyone has different opinions on what type of content should or shouldn't be posted on the Steem blockchain, and quality of content, and all these things. I mean, of course, we're not going to support plagiarism. We're not going to support, copy and pasting other people's content, that type of thing. That's my personal opinion. But beyond that, though, it's really open to opinion on what is quality content, what isn't, what's a shit post, what's obviously there's a big difference between what a shit post is and a really high quality, well written, long post. But there is a lot of gray area in between as to, well, should we be sharing just a single photo with one sentence on the Steem blockchain?
Yes.
Or should it only be longer posts with lots of text and multiple pictures and a big long post? It's tough. Everything in between is the thing that's hard to gauge, in my opinion.
Yes, it's very tough, especially from a different point of views. For example, sometimes it's very important that you have high quality posts, but sometimes maybe not so high quality posts receive more engagement. So I personally don't really want to put too much pressure on people that they should write high quality posts, because some people can't do this. Some people only have an iPhone, or I don't know, like a phone, and don't have a PC, and they have maybe problems writing really big posts because the screen is not big enough. It's very difficult. And on the other hand, as someone who's running a business, there are of course other promotion services, and I was at the beginning very, very strict and was blacklisting a lot of people. I mean, like really a lot of people. And the thing is, those people, they were like, okay, I will go to the next one. And about 95% of those people don't really care, like other people who are running other promotion services. So it's pretty much like a never-ending battle. If I, cut one head of the Hydra, then it will just grow back and it will eat somewhere else.
Right. Yep. And those good discussions could go on for hours. So,
yeah, exactly.
Thank you for answering that question, though. If anybody else does have questions for Wolf, let us know.
Yeah, please.
We've got him here for a few more minutes. So if you've got any more questions for him, again, he's a Steem witness. He's an experienced Steemian, been here for over a year now. And, it's certainly been fun having you here chatting with us. And, of course, if anyone has questions in the live audience, let us know. Now's your chance.
Yes, it's your one and only chance today. I'm not sure if you will appear in other shows very soon, so don't hold back. Post your questions. We want to know.
Of course, he reserves the right to answer what questions he does want to answer. So
yes, that's true.
But I recently also met in AMA, and there were some very difficult questions, and I didn't hold back. So, am I the real werewolf? Yes and no. So the thing is, I recently changed my profile picture. Because for me the werewolf is not like a wolf per se, but maybe like a symbol, and that's also the reason why I changed my profile picture.
Nice. Well, good to know. See, that's why it's fun learning more things about people. It's fun.
Yeah, and all the sheeps are safe. That's good to know.
And regarding the question, on smartsteem.com, if you log in, there's a dashboard, and on the dashboard there are multiple things which you can see, and one of those things is a list of whitelists, and these whitelists are being created through voting, through an algorithm which makes which filters the votes and calculates who is being whitelisted. For example, if your I've forgotten the name, your Snekky creation trail, right? Your creation initiative. Wait, let me find it. You got snagged.
Yeah.
For example, the algorithm could go through all the votes that You Got Snagged has made, and then create a whitelist based on different parameters. Which means, for example, you could say, okay, I want a whitelist based on one vote, which at 100%, and those are the whitelists which are made from like the votes which the different accounts have made, like Curry and Steam Stem and others, and then how many and how high. I mean, how high the weight was.
That's really cool.
Now, remind us again. So that website, that's something that did you create?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, tell us again what that is and how the people can find it.
So smartsteam.com, maybe someone can link, or I can write it down. So smartsteam.com was initially, it had multiple phases, and I started it last year around, I think, October or September, or at least, or maybe before when I developed it. Oh no, September or October. But it's a promotion service which is making sure that mostly high quality is being upvoted, because we have a whitelist which is being created by moderators which are reviewing every account. And on the other hand, people can say, okay, I want to either delegate to the service and get a certain amount of ROI back of their Steam power, or on the other hand, they can say, okay, I want to allow other people to use my vote for promotion services. For example, you could say, okay, I have an account with 500 Steam power, and I normally vote myself, so I don't want to delegate it away, but I want to earn a bit with my Steam power because it's my investment, but I want to make sure that I vote on people who are who had subjective good posts, and on the other hand, who you could say, okay, I only want to vote when my voting power is at 100%. So you make a little bit of money, and that's what SmartSteam currently is. But we are also doing different things. For example, we've started a new show which is called Growing Smart with SmartSteam, where we explain new users and planktons and minnows and even dolphins how to make the most out of Steam, because it's still an investment. Normally, when you invest in other cryptocurrencies, it's normal that you make sure that you make the most out of them, that you make the most money. But on Steam, because it's a social platform, there's sometimes the stigma or the problem that you have to be manually only active. But you can do both. You can make sure that you support good content and also that you let good content promote the post with your vote.
Well, I agree, and that's actually a good segue into this next question, because you were talking about how people can be more successful possibly on the platform. Painting Angels has a question. She's asking, what would be the one thing you would tell new users or minnows about being able to be successful on the platform? And I'll just kind of add, in your opinion.
Okay, that's a very good question. Okay, so I'm sometimes a bit different because I like to do creative things. I want to create projects. So maybe not everyone is like this, but if you want to be successful on Steam, you have to be relentless, which means you have to be always willing to push forward, even if the market is not good, and B or C, that you have to find your own thing which you're good at. Maybe you're good at writing blogs, or maybe you're good at holding conversations with other people, or maybe you're good at creating communities, like somebody like Eggot or Meno, or maybe you're good at writing little programs like Ma1ne with this popcorn bot, right? So there are multiple ways how you can be successful, and of course, successful is always very subjective. Some people, when I started, I was very, very happy when I first reached my 1000 Steam power. I was so happy. I thought, wow, now I'm really big. And then you grow and you get more goals, and then you were like, okay, now I have 10,000. Okay, I want 15,000. So success is always very relative.
Oh yes, there's always all those milestone moments that everybody has, in their
Yes.
Steam experience, and they're all important to us in our own way. So, yes, I remember a lot of my milestones as well, and it's been a fun journey, and it's cool to see someone like you who's been here now for over a year. You've progressed through from just initially finding out about the platform by looking for things on Google, and now you're all the way to you're already a Steam witness. That's pretty cool to see that progression in just a year.
Yes, thank you. I don't want to sound cocky, but I'm proud of it. And but I also want to tell everybody that uh, uh, every everybody can do it. Okay, that's everybody said that, but what I mean is that just you just have to find what you're good at. And if you're good at writing posts, then write posts, but do it every day, every single day, no matter how you feel. Just push yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's easier if you do something that you love to push yourself that little extra step. And if you love something, you love to create it. And I also think that if you like, for instance, want to post, but you write about stuff that really you have no interest in, people will be able to read that in your words,
Yes.
and it will not
Yeah.
give you the attention that you are looking for. Instead of posting or writing about something that really makes your heart, pound in your chest and gets you emotionally running, just do what you like. I agree with that.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, bratwurst.
And then we are again at Steam is the blockchain of opportunity, and everybody can make a living on the blockchain. You just have to put in the work and find the thing that you're good at. Yeah.
And we'll add obviously that it's like you're saying, they got to put in the work. It may not happen for everybody, but it's possible. That
Yeah.
it is possible. There at least is the opportunity. And it's up to people out there listening, how much they want to put into those opportunities to try to see them through. And I'm certainly glad that I've stuck it out here for over a year. There's been a lot of ups and downs, especially, in the prices and in, personal lives, and just projects changing and people coming and going. And it's been a wild ride, but I'm certainly glad to be here as well. I know Poetic Snake, I'm sure you feel similar. You've been here now for over 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
And so, it's just cool to hear all these different stories and to hear your perspective as somebody who's now, on the witness side of it, and, and these other projects you're doing. And we do have, I see at least one more question about the white lists. Future Thinkers asking, do the whitelist makers actively search out people to add to the lists?
I'm honestly not really sure what Future Thinker is meaning with this.
Okay.
But there are multiple whitelists. For once, there's the whitelist that SmartSteam is making, which means that moderators are reviewing Steemians and saying, okay, he's whitelisted or he's not. Previously, it was made on a star system, but I've decided that I don't want people to be like, oh, I have 2 stars, but I want 3 stars, and that guy has 3 stars, but my posts are just as good. I don't want people to compare themselves. Either they're on the whitelist, which means they don't plagiarize and they write their own unique content, etc., or they don't. And the other whitelists, which are the ones that are generated based on the votes, for example, on You Got Snacked, could be a whitelist. And then you could be like, okay, I want to promote only those guys who got upvoted by You Got Snacked.
It's pretty interesting. It's intriguing for sure, especially as a curator and things like that. So I think that's an interesting tool that people can use. So
yes, it is.
People can look into that if they're interested. Well, The Real Wolf, we've had you here for almost an hour now. We don't want to take up too much of your time, so we
crazy.
I know it goes by fast, huh?
Yeah, it's nearly 1 a.m. for me. So
Yeah,
but
so
it's really cool to be here. I like to speak. No, I'm just
good.
kidding.
Well,
Normally
good. We
I'm
we were worried we were keeping you too long, but we'll
no.
probably
I
see
like
if
it.
anybody has any last minute questions here. Final last chance for a question, and then we'll let the real wolf be on his way here. But we do certainly appreciate you taking the time to join us today. But we'll see if there's any last minute questions here. Snekky, did you want to add anything here near the end?
Well, I've been reading the chat to see if there were any questions, but mostly they are talking about food right now,
Oh.
salads and burgers and
And
I think
steaks.
and
Okay.
steaks. Yes, and I think you started it off with your bratwurst.
I
Oh,
don't know. Sorry.
do you eat steak and eggs, Wolf?
No, not currently, because I'm currently being vegetarian and also sometimes vegan. So I'm trying to stay away from meat. But yeah, in the past I ate it sometimes.
Do you
And
miss it?
regarding future thinker, yes, I answered your question, but I was not really sure what you meant. If bad timing. Okay,
Oh,
sorry, but
yes. Yeah, he did answer future, but
okay.
let's see here.
Oh, Menno is asking Wolfbergs or dog? No, Wolfbergs or dogs?
That's food.
What am I asking?
That's-
Burgers, right?
Yeah, that's
Do you
basically
know that?
both meat, and he was just saying that
Oh,
he's vegan now.
but
So.
but I recently ate a vegan burger, and it was
That's
not
true.
bad.
That's true.
And
Yes.
I also cook myself, so that's not a big problem. I can do everything myself. So
All right. And there is one more question in the audience,
last
if
one.
that's one you want to answer.
okay, let me read it first.
Sure. Again, everybody, we're chatting with the Real Wolf here on Ma1ne Snekky. So you can check out his blog on STEEMIT at The Real Wolf.
Did you see how fast I did that?
You did. You were very fast on the link.
Very
Thank you.
I'm learning.
You're not a snake. You're
I should be fast, right?
a tiger. Okay. Regarding the question, I personally believe that it's better to, I personally believe that it's better to incentivize for people to behave good, rather than say, okay, you've been a bad boy, and that's actually what blacklisting is. And blacklisting is pretty much a last resort thing. And when people are like, okay, I'm sorry that I wrote bad content, and then they make good content and they stop plagiarizing, then of course I remove the blacklist. But the idea is to create a system, and that should be the goal, to make a system on Steam where people, or maybe on an SMT, maybe that's a goal, where people are being incentivized to being good actors, and that means to being good content creators and good people, good Steemans.
Yeah, and I can see that perspective too. I mean, of course, there's people that think that if you come across somebody that's plagiarizing, obviously that account should be, quote unquote, blacklisted and flagged and all these things. And, I personally don't know enough about how it all works with, creating all of that kind of stuff. But, everybody's going to have a different opinion about it. And I like the perspective you're saying of reward the good content and the people who are, quote unquote, doing the right thing, in our opinion, and maybe necessarily don't just do the punishment of the other side. I don't know. I don't know either of what's the right thing. It's one of those topics we could have a million different opinions about it. So
about that topic we could have a talk for more than an hour, but to sum it up, it's like lightness and darkness. You need both. You need people who are like, okay, I want to support good content, and people like, okay, that's enough, and you're blacklisted or you're flagged now. And regarding the question, yes, I flagged myself, and I don't see a problem in flagging, because that's how the system works. When I like something, I upload it, and when I think something is has too many rewards, or which is too offensive, or which I really don't like, then I can flag it. That's my right, because that's the system.
That is true. You can upvote or you can downvote, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
But of course, prefer to upvote.
Well, everybody, again, we've had the Real Wolf here now for almost an hour, so we, of course, don't want to take up too much of his time, and we do have one more guest who is going to be joining us shortly here on the show. So, the Real Wolf, any final things you want to say while we have you here? Do you want to give any Steemian shout-outs or any shout-outs to any other communities or projects or anything while we have you here real quick?
Yes. One last thing. So recently I've been on the lookout which projects I want to support. And I have a little surprise. I've just delegated 1000 Steam power to You Got Snacked because I like what you're doing.
Oh my
and I want
God.
to support it. And I'm glad to help.
Oh,
because
wow.
it makes me go.
That is totally amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's really, really, really appreciated. And oh my God. This is wow, thank you. And I think that
You're welcome.
every curator of the project is saying thank you as well, and everybody that we will snack, we will use it for, you know, for good things. And wow, that is really amazing.
Okay. You're welcome.
Wow. Why does this always happen during the show, man?
I don't know.
It's a good thing. It's a
Oh,
good
wow.
thing, Snekky. Congratulations.
Thank
No,
you.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And yes, many of the curators are here in the audience chat right now. So yes, you know, thank you to all of them, and great shout out to You Got Snacked. So yes, awesome.
I feel really blessed. Wow. It's amazing. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. I'm glad to help.
So we are chatting, everybody, with the Real Wolf, and of course he is a Steam witness. You can find out more about what he's doing with his. I believe you must do like witness update posts probably, and talk about your smart Steam and all that stuff, right, on your blog on STEEMIT.
Yes, I've actually been pretty active the last 2, 3, 4 days. I mean, really active in my in my style, because I'm not really a blogger normally, but I've been writing a lot.
Wonderful. Well, certainly everybody can check that out. And, you know, we're certainly grateful to have you here with us tonight. Poetic Snake, any final goodbyes here? I know you're probably excited here.
Yeah, I'm kind of like jumping up and down and like, whoa. I just, it was really wonderful to have you on the show and to learn, you know, more about you and to see what things that you're doing for the platform. And I really hope that all your projects, you know, will go to the moon, as in growing big, not disappearing, go to the moon. You know, I mean it in a good way. You are a hard worker, and I have followed you around for a long time to see what you do with you know, with your projects. And wow, there is so much that I want to say, but I'm still like woohoo, you know. So yeah, I hope you will come back on the show someday to tell you about so that you can tell us all about how everything is going at that time.
Thank you very much for hosting me. I really enjoyed it, and thank you everybody for listening to me.
Absolutely. So, everybody, that was our interview tonight with the Real Wolf. Again, you can find him on STEEMIT at the Real Wolf. And so, Wolf, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank
Bye-bye.
you for being with us. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. So, Snekky, how are you doing? Are you awake? Did you faint? I don't know.
I almost fainted, and then I started to jump up and down, bouncing all over the place now. And now I'm seeing pizza too, so I couldn't be more happy.
Cool. Well, everybody, again, that was our chat with the Real Wolf. Certainly look him up and check him out and say hello sometime, and we're grateful to have him on the show with us tonight. Moving on here, it's just after the top of the hour. It's just after 7 o'clock here on the east coast of the USA. That means it should be a little after 11 o'clock UTC time. And you are listening to Ma1ne Snekky here on MSPWaves. Yeah, Snekky. And if this is your first time joining us, welcome to the show. We hope you're enjoying it. And to everybody who is a returning listener, big shout out to all of you. We certainly appreciate all of you taking the time to join us each and every Wednesday night from 10 to midnight UTC time. Of course, here on MSP Waves. And, if this is your first time, make sure you join us each and every week because we try to get different guests to bring on the show every week. And, even if we don't have live guests, we'll usually try to do different topics related to the Steem community. So this is basically a chance for you all to just come hang out and interact with different people from the Steem community. And again, it's each and every Wednesday from 10 to midnight UTC time.
Yes, and we would love, love, love to have you on our show as a guest. If you want to be on, you can simply send Main Event or me, I don't bite, a DM here on Discord or STEEMIT.chat, or you can leave a reply that you want to be interviewed on our show on one of the show posts. I post one before the show, and Main Event posts a very perfect show with post with the total show on it as well. And yes, don't say my story isn't interesting, because every story is interesting. Every story is different, and we would love to hear them all. So don't hold back. Come and join us on the show.
Yeah, everybody's always bashful at first. They always say, oh, I don't have anything to talk about, or my story isn't interesting, or whatever. And that's definitely not true. We want to talk to each and every Steemian. It doesn't matter if you're brand new. It doesn't matter if you've been here since the beginning. You could be a whale. You could be a minnow, or anything in between. We'd be happy to chat with you.
Absolutely. I always say, I want to get to know everybody. We cannot put you all in one show, but, we've been doing this for over a year now. Well, Main Event has been doing it for over a year. I joined him a little bit later, but every story is so amazing and different. And I want to know it all. I'm a nosy little snack.
I'm pretty sure you've been with me on this show now at least a year.
Yeah, it's getting close to it. I think I started in September, so yeah, it might be my 1 year. I don't know.
You've put up with me for a whole year, Snekky.
Yeah, how did I even do that?
I don't know. Let's see.
I don't know. And you put up with me. That's that's something.
All right, here. I got to get back to the audience chat here because I'm seeing I'm getting tagged in things. Globocop wants me to mention the new MSP Waves logo that will be debuting very soon. They've been working on a new logo for MSP Waves, and I believe there's other cool and exciting things that are in the works. So certainly keep your eyes out for new content and a new logo that's going to debut for MSP Waves. And I'm not sure if they're ready to show that here in the audience chat, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe they're ready to debut it. We'll have to see. If not, it's coming soon. So that's like a little teaser for you. And
coming soon. Steam blockchain.
What's happening? Menno, why would I hate Menno? No way. I don't. It says Menno says I think Maine hates me. No way. No way.
What? Who would be able to hate Menno?
Definitely not.
No, he's like Ninja.
I believe Menno has a show coming up later this evening here on MSP Waves. So stick around for that. Of course, you can, as we mentioned earlier, find the full schedule on MSPWaves.com. And yes, many talented Steemians all doing shows on here, so certainly check it out. Oh, you put pineapple on your pizza. Oh, I see. You're one of those. Well, let me reconsider. No, just kidding.
Wait a minute. Let us have a nice discussion here about pineapples on pizza. I feel that you don't like pineapple on pizza.
The thing is I really love pineapple, actually. Fresh pineapple is awesome. I love cutting a fresh pineapple and eating it. I don't mind it on pizza, but I guess I'm weird. Like, I don't like the ham and pizza or ham and pepperoni, or excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't like the ham and pineapple combo, but I don't mind it with like pepperoni and pineapple, which is kind of weird. I don't know. I'm not a huge.
So you're half.
I'm not a huge fan of the pineapple on pizza thing, though. I'll eat it, but it's not my favorite.
I have to rethink a lot of things right now.
I know. This might be a deal. This might be a deal breaker.
Yeah. This is. Oh my god.
That's funny. Well, we're getting off topic, Snekky. We'll if we have a pizza together, we'll just split it. All right. You can get your toppings on one side. I'll get mine on the other. How's that?
Yes, that's a deal. That's a deal.
Okay.
I will keep you to that, though.
All right. All right. So, welcome everybody back to the show. Back to reality here. We're back off the pizza topic. Let's go ahead and welcome our next guest onto the show. I've got to move him into the live on air room. So I hope you're ready, Upheaver.
Oh, who is it? Who is it? Who is it?
Let's see here. It's Upheaver. Welcome to the show, Upheaver. Hopefully you can hear me right now. It's showing that you're muted right now, but you probably just have yourself muted. You'll have to just unmute yourself. There you go. Welcome to the show. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you fine. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. Great to have you here with us.
Thank
Yes,
you.
great
Sorry
to
for
have
my
you.
voice because it's 2 a.m. here, so it's been a long day.
No worries. Sorry we kept you up so late.
That's fine. I enjoyed the show.
Remind our audience whereabouts in the world you are this evening. What country are you listening from?
So I'm located currently in Greece.
All right, awesome. Joining us all the way from Greece. I'm not sure. You might be the first Steemium I've had on the show from Greece. I'm not really sure. We've interviewed so many different people, but Greece doesn't sound familiar. So welcome from Greece.
Yes. Thank you. I'm not Greek myself. I'm from Lithuania originally, and I moved to Greece 10 years ago. So I'm living here, but I'm not from here.
All right, cool. How long have you been on the Steem blockchain so far?
So that's an interesting question. The blockchain shows that I registered in May 24, 2017. That was the day actually that Trump met with Pope Francis, I think, in Vatican. I don't remember a single thing how I got to Steem blockchain or how I found it or how I registered, but definitely I left it there, and I didn't rediscover the account until way into January 2018.
And, once you made the account, what kind of made you want to come back and start utilizing the Steem blockchain again?
So I was revisiting all the coins for investment opportunities, and I realized that this platform has grown. It has interesting content. It has several different front ends attached to the same blockchain, and that piqued my interest. So at that time I was actually trying to get my paintings up on smart contracts. So I thought, hey, why not? This is a new blockchain. I should try posting my paintings there and see what happens. Maybe I'll earn, $1, $2, $3 based on that, just for fun. And get to know the blockchain, how it works. Specifically Steem nodes, how they operate, and what kind of community feedback there is, how much engagement, and so on. I was more interested in let's say, the social aspect rather than the technology aspect behind it.
All right. Well, that's cool to get to know you a little better and find out, how you kind of found your way here and all of that kind of stuff. So you've been here for a while now. What are you utilizing the Steem blockchain for now? You said you were doing some artwork before?
Yeah, so I started from posting artwork, but actually I'm a developer, and right after first 3 weeks posting on blockchain, I met another Steem witness, Reggae Muffin, and I joined Build Team. It's a decentralized company which builds applications like Minnow Booster and Steamboater. So I joined them as a head of development, and I took over the development reins of the team. And I've been developing for the last 9 months application services and standards for Build Team until very recently. So I have split up from Build Team just last week and decided to take a stab at being a witness and running my own business on Steem blockchain.
Awesome. Well, that's really cool to hear about all of that. Of course, we're going to open it up to the audience chat too throughout the show. If anyone has
Sure.
questions for Upheaver, am I saying your name correctly, by the way?
Yeah, that's fine. My real name is Paul, but
Okay.
you can call me Upheaver. Here it's more relevant to the context, I guess.
Okay. And how did you decide on that username?
I think I was looking for ancient words that are synonyms of uplifting, because that's what I wanted my brand to be associated with.
Awesome. Now, do you have, specific like projects you want to talk about or any Steemian shout outs you want to give? I heard recently that you may have become a Steem witness. Is that correct?
Yes, so I launched my Steem Witness just yesterday, and I really want to thank everyone who has voted so far for that. I am pretty excited of the feedback that I've got from fellow Steemians. It seems to be going really well. And I would, of course, invite everyone to read my announcement post and see what it's all about. And if you like what I'm proposing as my platform, witness platform, please do give me an upvote, so I can represent these ideas in a broader scale and actually implement them over time. So I can of course talk about them here a little bit more in depth, so you can see what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to let us know. I'm curious. So as I asked the Real Wolf, kind of what inspired you to want to start the Witness project in the first place?
So I've been working on different technology projects for Steem blockchain for over 9 months right now. So I've seen the drawbacks that Steem has, both in community and technology side, all kinds of different problems that from up close, that voting bots have created the whole economy around that, whitelisting, blacklisting, infighting between witnesses, problems with decentralization, and so on. So I have ideas how to fix some of that, or how to introduce new products that attempt to fix some of those problems. And my main inspiration behind the Witness was to actually get community support behind these ideas and try to implement it as a group of people. Because as an individual, I can write the code, but if people don't know about it, they will not use it, and then it will go unnoticed and unused. So I really want to have the community, the Steem community on my side when I'm developing these things in order to improve Steem ecosystem, and also to get feedback about them in a timely manner. And I think Steem Witness is a perfect tool for that.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for sharing that. And did you want to talk about some of the things now that you've created the Witness? Of course, you've only had it up and running for 1 day so far, so I'm sure it'll be an interesting experience for you going forward. But what are some of the things you're hoping to achieve with that?
Yeah, so I'm currently working. I have a roadmap of different products and services that I will be introducing myself and together with some partners on Steem blockchain across 3, 4, 5, 6 months in the future. Starting from client-side tools, something that every Steem user would use, client-side applications, wallet applications that have much better user experience. So I really want to see more apps that look professional, that function professional, and the developers really have neglected this aspect of Steem blockchain. Everything is more or less just a utility. But I think there's a big opportunity here to create nice looking and beautifully functioning applications that every Steemian can use. So that's one part. The other large part is that Steem blockchain is more or less inaccessible to developers outside Steem blockchain. So there's a very, very steep learning curve. I experienced it myself as well when I was learning what Steem blockchain is all about, and learning to code, write code for Steem blockchain. So there's a quite steep barrier of entry, and reducing that barrier of entry will bring more interesting applications from outside, will allow new developers to come in and start working on Steem blockchain, and as well bring in investment. Startups and companies who are existing already would be able to use Steem blockchain as a tool to build their businesses on top of it. It can be anything ranging from social media applications to investment applications. The tools are.
Are we still here?
Yes, I'm still here. You're still here. Are you still here with us, Upheaver? Did we lose you?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
you just cut out just for half a second there right at the end. But yeah, no, it's cool to see, that you've got a lot of things planned and coming up in the future. And I think it's awesome that people are developing all these apps and tools and front ends and all these different things that people can use on the Steem blockchain. It's quite fascinating.
Indeed. And one of the things that also the Real Wolf has mentioned, which is smart contracts. This is something that is lacking right now on Steem blockchain, and that could be done in a way that doesn't require intrusive development or involvement from Steem Inc., but it can be done as a layer on top of Steem blockchain. As many other applications, financial applications, trading apps, communication standards for tokens, all kinds of different cool things can be done on top as a layer on existing technology without really changing the code or creating hard forks or anything like that. It just needs a little bit of inspiration and a little bit easier access for developers to start going with Steem blockchain.
Well, that's awesome, and it's cool to see just all the things that are going to happen, and I'm excited for it. And it's so much has changed in even just the last year for me being here on the Steem blockchain that I can only imagine where we'll be a year from now and the things we'll be talking about that are happening on the Steem blockchain a year from now. It's amazing how things are progressing. Even it seems like it takes a long time. Like we always talk about how like a month on Steem seems like 6 months in the real life in the real world. But in reality, though, these things are coming along pretty quickly in my opinion. I mean, some people might disagree with that, but
yeah. So yeah, I agree with that. It's going pretty quickly. The development changes. The biggest one that we'll see right now will be the SMTs, of course, which will open up access for communities, different communities, and hopefully will inspire a different kind of development. So currently Steem is this giant mess of content. You can find everything on the same feed, ranging from memes to serious posts, to videos, to live streams, and so on. So it needs more diversification and separating the groups of users into different communities where they can thrive. So having specialized user interface to access the content, having optimized tools to produce the content that they like, and of course get rewarded for that content in the most appropriate way. So SMTs provide that, but also together with SMTs, there's a new wave of financial applications that will be that we will be able to create on top of Steem blockchain. Everything ranging from ICOs to smart media tokens, which live in a soft standard on top of Steem, that are not built into the blockchain, but just live as a layer on top, and enable interoperability with different blockchains outside. So more liquidity, more money coming in into Steem blockchain. and more people, hopefully, using it. Because at the end of the day, all this requires people to be actually using the products that we built. As developers, we can only hope that somebody out there is watching and following what we're doing. And
Yeah, no, and you cut out just right on that last thing, but yeah, I agree with you. Hopefully, people are finding out about the Steem blockchain, and sometimes I wonder what we can do as individual Steemians to kind of help promote the Steem blockchain. I know there's many different initiatives out there of people who are doing things like going on campuses and doing whatnot, like the Steem ambassadors programs and all those types of groups. So with prices kind of being a little lower than what we're used to, I know some people aren't as enthusiastic as they might have been, but I do hope that more people are out there sharing the Steem blockchain, maybe with their family and friends or on their other social networks or whatnot, and just doing what we can to get the word out, because it seems to me, in my opinion, that there are a lot of things coming, more projects, more applications, more ways to use the Steem blockchain. So, to me, in my opinion, that could hopefully only mean good things coming.
yes, absolutely, and we'll see hopefully much more of these developments. But what we really need to work on as Steemians is enabling developers that build the technology and build these applications to really be empowered to do so. So there needs to be a sort of layer of support for people actually building stuff on top of blockchain, because at the end of the day, this will unlock more opportunities for everyone. This will bring more people in, more eyeballs to look at the content that you're producing. If you're writing video, if you're writing blogs or making videos, if there's 5 different applications that are specific for videos, you will have much better engagement with your user base. So it all comes down to build it and they will come. I think that's the expression. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we need to give it a little push as well from inside.
I definitely agree. And again, everybody, you're listening to Ma1ne Snekky here on MSPWaves. We are chatting right now with Upheaver. So you can find his profile on STEEMIT at UPHEAVER, Upheaver. So check him out. Again, he's just let us know that he's just created a new Steem Witness. And again, a reminder to all the Steemians out there, you can vote for up to 30 different witnesses with your Steem account. So if you haven't done so yet, you should probably research into what witnesses are and why they're important to the Steem blockchain. And again, you'll have up to 30 different ones that you can possibly support. And an easy way to find it, somebody can probably share the link right in the chat to the witness voting, but I know you just go on the STEEMIT portal, it's in the right-hand corner in the menu, and it'll say Vote for Witnesses. And that's where you'll find it, and, it gives you a chance, again, to vote for up to 30. And
yes, and you can also switch. It's not that you vote one time and you have to stuck that vote there forever. You can change, and you can also proxy someone else to vote for you if you are not willing to do it yourself, or not able to do it yourself, or not feeling confident enough to do it yourself. You can proxy someone who has looked into it.
Absolutely. And, we've got many Steem witnesses in the audience right now, actually. So big shout out to all the Steem witnesses out there. You guys are amazing. You do a lot of work to help keep this blockchain running. You're all appreciated, in my opinion, and I know, Snekky, you'd agree. So big shout out to all the Steem witnesses out there.
Yes. Yoo-hoo to all the witnesses. You are great. Yoo-hoo? Why am I saying yoo-hoo? That's weird.
Funny. And again, everybody, we're chatting with Upheaver right now, and as I've mentioned in the chat, if anybody has questions for him, now's your chance. Of course, we give him the right to answer what questions he does and does not want to answer, but if anybody has questions for him, maybe about his new witness or other projects that he's been working on. Are there other projects that you might be working on or things you want to mention while we have you here, Upheaver?
Yeah, sure. So a few interesting things that will be coming up shortly, and I will be launching them in the next upcoming weeks. One is a token standard. This is a cooperation between different parties actually on Steem blockchain. So it's not my personal contribution, but teamwork rather. Which enables actually launching smart tokens before SMTs are launched on the public mainnet, right? So you can create your own smart media token using existing hard fork 19 technology that is already out there. And those tokens will not be one-to-one. They don't serve the same purpose as SMTs, but they have a little bit different purpose. So you can airdrop them, you can send them to your users. They support smart oracles as well. All that nice functionality that SMTs will eventually have, but they will not have it at the launch date. This token standard, when it will be announced, it will support all this functionality from day one, right? So this is quite exciting application, but of course you need to see how it's implemented and what it's all about. I'm sure someone will be posting an update shortly in the next couple of weeks with an announcement about this thing. So just keep an eye out about it. And yeah, what else? There's also an upcoming wallet application that will be coming as Firefox and Chrome extension, so across different browsers. Also, Internet Explorer will be supported and Opera, although the primary target is, of course, Chrome and Firefox. But this will allow you to essentially have the functionality of MetaMask, similar to MetaMask, but for Steem blockchain. So securely storing your private key and then signing transactions with one click through a pop-up. So this will enable, hopefully, integrations with e-commerce websites, apps and utilities, and all kinds of cool stuff that developers will be coming up with, right? So this is just a tool for them to have easier access to the customer base.
All right, cool. Well, we'll keep an eye on that as it starts to develop for you, and as you get all those projects going. People are asking some kind of silly questions in the audience chat. Let's see here. I do see at least one question in there. If you want to answer that one, it's from the Bug IQ. It was a little further up. I'm not sure if there's one you wanted to answer or whatnot. And then let's see. Of course, again, a reminder, everybody in the audience, if you've got questions for Upheaver, certainly let us know. Now's your chance. And, while we got him here. If you have any Steemian shout-outs too, Upheaver, if you want to give a shout-out to any other fellow Steemians out there, of course, we always give every guest a chance to do that as well, or any other maybe Discord communities that you're a part of, or just, other Steemians in the community that you might maybe want to give a shout-out to.
I think the shout-out goes to the Real Wolf this time, because I think he did a great job with the chat earlier. I really enjoyed listening to that, and I think he's doing a great job, really, with his Steem Witness and with the applications that he's developing. And the Bug IQ asked a question. You seem to be hoping to bring some creative solutions to the platform to alleviate some of the strain between groups on the platform. Do you wish to comment further on this at this time? And will you be tapping into Canada's cannabis supply in order to achieve your goals? So no, unfortunately, not a user of cannabis. But in terms of different groups, there are. So what I mean by creative solutions for different groups is creating verticals for specific use cases. Let's say video, people who are creating videos, people who are posting photos, people who are writing long form content, people who like writing tweets. They are all using Steem blockchain currently as a single database. And there are currently very few applications that actually let these communities see specialized content. So, you have DTube and you have some other apps that do that, sort out the content by its type and show you just video content, which is relevant. That's great, but we need to see much more of this. And with SMTs coming in, you will also need to diversify by community type. So you will not only need to diversify by the type of content, but also the type of people that want to subscribe to your content. Maybe you want to launch a community about recipes. Maybe you want to launch a community about scientists and science in general. Photography. So verticals based on topics will be really the next frontier where the software developers on STEEMIT should take notice and really start developing their applications today to cater to these new audiences. Because after SMTs arrive, this will be in demand. That's my understanding of how it will evolve.
Uh-oh.
All right.
And I caught off again. My screen locked. Sorry.
That's okay. I think we heard just about your entire sentence there. So.
All right.
All right. Well, yes. Any other questions from the live audience? Somebody wants to know if you like pineapple on your pizza. Apparently, that's a hot topic tonight.
Yes, I do. I love it.
There you go, guys. He likes it. He likes the pineapple. I like fresh pineapple. I love it. It's so good. All right.
There's one more question, though, from LL Forms.
Okay. Where was that one? Okay.
What do you see as the one thing holding Steem back from being mainstream more successful?
Correct. So this one is quite easy. Ease of access. This is very simple. It's quite complicated still for people to get an account on Steem. So there's still a waiting process, or you need to buy an account. So just the sign up needs to be more fluid, simple, easy, free, more accessible to the end users, so we can have more people joining the application. We also need to understand how people, use these apps on top of Steem blockchain and to try to retain them. I haven't seen any team on Steem blockchain talking about customer retention, like professionally, tracking with data, their customer churn rates and how many customers are leaving from their platform and not coming back. So this has to be done on a more professional level. Right now, it's done very amateurishly, but really we need to invest time and money and resources in order to build up our customer retention skill sets and resources, and try to keep these people that we get as signups. We need to keep them on board and engaged with the platform for a longer period of time. And then, of course, ease of access to developers. Again, I'm coming back to the same topic. If it's easier for external developers who don't know anything about what Steem is, how this blockchain works, and so on, if there's enough documentation and if there's enough easy to access services so they can build their prototype application and get started, then you will see much more interesting applications coming from outside Steem, and that will drive engagement. So, and together with engagement will drive the price up as well.
All right. Well, thanks for answering the question. And let's see, any more serious questions? Of course, we like to have fun on this show, but any more actual serious questions here on the show for Upheaver, certainly let us know. And Upheaver, if you had any other things that you wanted to mention while we got you on the show, feel free to do so.
Sure, thanks. So I think the real wolf asked a question. Do you think that the blockchain freeze 2 days ago meant that Steem is not decentralized? If not, why? It didn't mean that this particular instance, because it was a software bug, it did mean that it's centralized. But there are a few other issues which actually affect centralization and are not so obvious to everyone. A lot of Steem witnesses are not technically capable of running their own server, right? So a lot of that work is being outsourced to other Steem witnesses who can. So that creates a sort of invisible bottleneck. And that goes even further because these people who run the outsourced servers for most of the witnesses, they use the same data centers. So, you have a choice of like 2 or 3 data centers, and that's it. So essentially all the Steem blockchain ecosystem is hanging on these people being available and being able to bring the servers back if they're down. Of course, there are witnesses who are running their own hardware and that are maintaining their own hardware and bringing the stuff back if it goes down. And this is very, very important for Steem blockchain. But of course, this can be improved further. Especially outsourcing for me is a big problem that is not very visible because there's no real statistics about that. But I've seen it happening. A lot of people who are busy in the top 20 and top 40 and top 50 witness places, some of them are outsourcing their witnesses to others. And this should be fixed or changed. At least they should try, decentralizing a little bit. And if they're outsourcing, try to hire a guy outside Steem, a DevOps, run on a completely different infrastructure than everybody else. So this will help Steem blockchain to be more resilient.
All right. Well, definitely thank you for answering that. Of course, we always reiterate everything on here is just our opinions and whatnot. Everyone will have different opinions on what you hear on this show. So, it's kind of to each their own. We're just giving our opinions and experiences of what we've seen here on the Steem blockchain. Again, we are chatting with Upheaver right now, and Poetic Snake has just shared the blog link in the chat. So if you haven't had a chance yet to check out the STEEMIT profile, certainly do so if you'd like. And we do really appreciate you taking the time to join us today, Upheaver. Are there any other final thoughts you want to give here before we say goodbye?
Well, thanks for having me, and I really appreciate the time and to be able to talk with all of you. I see there's a big crowd actually, so I'm quite intimidated by that. But this has been a treat. So thanks for having me again.
Poetic Snake, are you still here with me?
No, I slithered away and I'm hiding.
Did you have any other questions or comments here for Upheaver?
Just wanted to say thank you for joining us on the show. It was really amazing to get to know you, and you're a new witness, and I'm looking forward to see how high and far you will go.
Well, thanks for that.
All right, everybody. Well, yes, again, a big thank you to you, Upheaver. We really appreciate you taking the time to join us today on Ma1ne Snekky. All right, everybody. So that was our chat tonight with Upheaver. What did you think of that, Snekky?
I liked it.
You liked it?
Yes, I did. I love talking to people who are doing new things. He's a new witness and getting on the show. Yeah, I get excited by things like that.
Yeah, you can always tell when people, are excited about a new project and things, and it kind of, when you talk to them, it kind of adds to your excitement too, I feel like.
Yeah, it feeds it. And we're back to the food.
Everybody's hungry tonight, apparently, in the live audience chat.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm hungry too. I ate right before the show because I didn't want to be hungry during the show. And here I am again, hungry.
It happens, it happens. But you are listening to Ma1ne Snekky here on MSPWaves. And, you know, we've been fortunate the last 2 weeks in a row. We had 4 different Steem witnesses join us on the show in the last 2 weeks. And I think that's awesome because before that, we went kind of a long time where we didn't have any Steem witnesses on the show. And I remember saying, well, we need to try to get some witnesses on the show. And ironically, in the last couple of weeks, we've managed to have 4 different Steem witnesses here join us on the show. So big thank you to all of them, and especially our 2 guests that were on the show this evening.
Yeah, that's really amazing. And I think, you know, talking to the witnesses brings more light up them as well, because they do a lot of work. I mean, without them, there's not much going on.
That's true. And, the other day when the chain went down, we got to see them in action, and it was down for a while, but it wasn't even a full day. And then everything seemed to be back up and running again. Of course, some nodes, I guess, were still having problems. I know some of the services that I use weren't working for a few days, but they seem to be working again. But those things happen. The STEEMIT website itself is still in beta, right? So we say that every time, too.
Yeah, that's true.
The forever beta, right?
Forever beta.
But, all of this stuff's still being created. It's still growing. It's changing. The Steem blockchain, people are kind of, it's always evolving, right? So it's fun to watch everything happen.
How was your reaction when you logged in and you noticed, hey, it's not working?
Well, I was a little annoyed because I had the day off, actually, and I was going to, do some live streaming or something. I wanted to do something that day in relation to Steem, and, everything was down. So I was like, well, I guess I'm not doing that today.
Oh, that's sad.
That's okay. Sometimes
I logged in and I read it and I was like, okay, I'm having a day off, and I logged off. Bye.
Right. Sometimes a day away from the screens is a good thing.
Yeah, I agree, people. It's like, I mean, I understand it. I'm a lot online as well, but I do take every now and then. I take a little break. 1 day, 2 days, sometimes even a week. It's good to sometimes, go outside. There's an outside world where there's green and fresh air and smoggy air if you live in the city. Inhale it, embrace it, and then, you can go back online.
Yeah, I know, especially new users, they get on here and they just get so excited, and I know we did. I was on Discord all the time when I first joined the Steem blockchain and getting into all these different communities and projects, and it's been a fun experience. And I some days I do get frustrated with things happening, and sometimes there's drama and sometimes there's technical problems, and you never know what you're going to get, but there's a lot of good moments too. There's a lot of really wonderful moments where we get to meet people, we get to collaborate, we get to see talented people creating things. For me, the good outweighs the bad.
Oh, for me as well. And for me, at least there's 98% good and bad. Really, if the STEEMIT blockchain goes down like it did 2 days ago, I think it's a good practice for the witnesses to see how fast they can get stuff running again. And, we should also give them all a nice chance to do so and not rush people, because really the world is not dying if we're not online for a few hours,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And a big shout out to everyone that's talking right now in the audience chat. Again, we are on Discord. We're in the Peace, Abundance, Liberty server, which of course is the home of the Minnow Support Project, MSP, and MSPWaves. And of course, we're chatting and hanging out with you tonight on MSPWaves. say hello to us in the MSPWaves audience channel. We've got lots of people in there talking and saying hello and dropping memes and all kinds of good stuff in there. So we're getting close to the end of the show, Snekky, so why don't we go around the world here?
Oh, dear.
All right, so what this means, everybody, we want you to share in the audience chat room what country are you listening from tonight. Just type out the country you're listening from and let us know where you are in the world this evening. It's always a lot of fun seeing where all the Steemians are tuning in from all over the world. I'll start. I'm in the United States here on the East Coast, up in New England. And
I am in the Netherlands, in Europe. Mm-hmm.
All right, I see.
Anya.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Go for it.
Anya is in the USA. XS. Oh my God. XS Green is from the USA. Kabir from the UK. Hebrew, United States. Global Cop is from a flag. The Real Wolf is from a flag. I don't read flags, people. What's Up is in the USA. Marky is in the USA. Kralin, United States of oh my God. LL Farms, USA. Okay. The Real Wolf is in Germany. Crimson Glad is in Canada, but the other, I could not read that flag. Global Cop is in, I know it, but I forgot the name.
The Real Wolf told us he was in Germany, right?
Yes, Germany, in Bradford's country.
Globo, is that Panama?
Oh, yes, Panama.
Yeah. Awesome. So.
Oh, Soundwaves Photon is joining us from Jupiter today.
Oh, well, there.
That's like really amazing. I'm so jealous. Oh, I want to be on Jupiter too.
It's awesome seeing all the different Steemians from all over the world. It's so amazing to us that we've been able to do that. Oh, Ferrisim.
Ferrisim is in the Netherlands right now as well. That's cool. He's close to me. That's scary as well.
Shout out to Ferrisim.
Awesome.
All right, and it's amazing to us that people have been tuning into this show now for over a year. We've had the pleasure of interviewing dozens and dozens of different Steemians from all over the world. We've had guests join us from all over the world. And for me personally, that's been my biggest accomplishment here on the Steem blockchain is having this show alongside Poetic Snake and being able to connect with so many different people. And I would have never guessed that. I mean, I live in a pretty small area. I don't travel a lot. I'm not somebody who travels the globe or anything like that. And to be able to interact with all of these people from all over the world and collaborate with them and get to know them is amazing to me. And when I first joined the Steem blockchain, I would have never, ever guessed that would have happened. So a big thank you and a big shout out to everybody who supports this show, who's been a guest, and of course tuned in the live audience. And of course to you, Snekky. Thank you.
Oh, thank you as well. It's wonderful to doing this show with you. I still remember when you interviewed me. I was so nervous, and here I am co-hosting with you. Who would have thought?
I would have never guessed if somebody would have told me that's how things would have worked out. But I'm happy they did.
And me too.
Yeah, and we're here again. We're here each and every Wednesday night from 10 to midnight UTC time. So if you've enjoyed the show tonight, we do hope that you will join us each and every Wednesday. We, of course, are Steemians. We've got our own STEEMIT blogs, and I do share the recording of the show each and every week right after the show ends. So I'll be doing a show post here shortly that will contain the full recording of this show. So if you'd like to support the show, that's a great place to leave some feedback, or if you want to do a re-steam or whatnot, we certainly appreciate it. Poetic Snake, my co-host, of course, here, also does a post about the show. She'll usually do our pre-show post, kind of letting everybody know who's going to be on and at what time and how to find us. So that's also another great place that you can show some love to help support the show. We are both active curators, so of course delegations are wonderful and super appreciated. Again, shout out to the Real Wolf. That's awesome that You Got Snekky is going to get some delegation. Wonderful to hear.
Oh, yes. I'm still, now you mentioned it again. I'm feeling, wow. Thank you again.
Yeah, in this, and if other people are interested, we're not begging for delegations here, but we are active curators. We're people who are out here trying to support the Steem community. In the show post that I do each and every week, there are some delegation links at the bottom, if that's something you're interested in. We super appreciate all the support, and we love also trying to support the community in any way we can as well. All right,
Absolutely.
Snekky.
Sorry.
It's okay. I thought I lost you for a second there.
Yeah, a little bit you did. But I got back.
So let's run down the list here. I see Clayboyne in the chat, Crimson Clad. I see Anya. I see Globo Cop. I see Graylin, Hebrew Housewife. Kabir's out there. LL Farms. Who else do you see?
No one? No, just kidding. Mandel Sage, Marquis, Menno, Ferasim, Sunwaves Photon, the Buck IQ. Of course, the real wolf. Are you going or do I need to go on?
Our second guest tonight, also Upheaver, still tuning in. Thank you. Big shout out to Victoria, new full mod here in MSP. Shout out to Victoria. I see Vlad's out there. What's up? And XS Green. So thank you to all of you. Of course, there's other people who are listening right now on MSPWaves.com. So a big hello and a thank you to all of you. And of course, everyone who is tuning in tonight on DLive. If you're tuning in on DLive via the MSP-Waves profile, big thank you and shout out to all of you as well.
Yes, it's amazing that, you all come to join the show and listen to us. And it's really appreciated. It brings our show to life because without audience, it's not so much fun.
We've been doing the show long enough now that we've got a nice regular crew of people who tune into the show, and that's very appreciated. And it looks like we've had a few new faces join us this week, so thank you. And again, as we mentioned earlier, if you're interested in being a guest on the show, all you have to do is contact Main Event or Poetic Snake here on Discord, or you could also message us through steam.chat, both of those services, and we'd be happy to chat with you. As we mentioned earlier, some people try to say that, they're just a minnow, or maybe their account's small or something, so they think they shouldn't be on the show, and that's not true at all. We'd be happy to chat with anybody. English preferred. I only speak English, so if you can at least speak English on the show, that's what we would need. If if you speak multiple languages, that's fine. Just one of them would have to be English. But beyond that, we certainly appreciate anybody who has joined us, and we look forward to potential guests who will join us in the future.
Yeah, we would love to have you on the show. It's. I always love it to get to know people better, and we ask a few of the same questions that we ask everybody, but also questions that are for the person alone because of the projects, anything, and we learn so much from it every week.
That's right.
When the show ends, I feel like I've learned something new, and that's amazing.
That's right. And of course, everything you heard on the show tonight was just our opinions. This is just for entertainment purposes only. I'm going to play our disclaimer again real quick. Okay, Snack?
You are listening to Ma1ne Snekky on MSP Waves. Everything you hear on this show is our opinion only and should not be taken as financial advice or advice of any kind. We are not financial experts or experts of anything. This show is intended for entertainment purposes only. MSP Waves and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host or our guests. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of MSP Waves. The material on Ma1ne Snekky is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research.
Snekky.
Snekky.
So that's right. So, we're just here to have a good time and chat with you all, get to know the Steem community better, but this is all for entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research.
Yes, always do your own research. And your own laundry if you can.
If you can, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, we've got a little over 1 minute left, Snekky. You want to give your final goodbyes here for tonight?
Only for tonight, right?
Right. We'll bring you back next week, I guess.
Okay. Phew. Thank you all for joining us on the show. Really amazing. We really hope to see you all again next week. And thank you, Ma1ne, for having the most amazing radio voice.
I don't know about that, but it gets me through. It works, so.
It works. Oh, it does.
All right, everybody. So we're going to say so long here in just a moment. It looks like we do have a live show coming on after us here on MSP Waves. I see Saipan Damashi is in the live on air room, so he'll be doing the Dancing Dreamers show coming up next. So if you're into EDM music and EDM culture and the concert scene and all that kind of stuff, Saipan lives it. He actually goes out to these concerts and experiences it, and he comes back and shares some of his experiences with us here on the Dancing Dreamers show. So that is coming up next on MSP Waves. This is Main Event and Poetic Snake. We are saying so long, and this is Ma1ne Snekky on MSP Waves. Join us next Wednesday, and we will see you next time. Thanks for listening.